Transform your yarn stash into a stylish accessory. In this tutorial, I'll teach you how to crochet these super cute granny square gloves. Okay, let's get started. You're going to need both a 3.5mm hook and a 3mm hook and some double net weight yarn. I'm using Drops Charisma today, but you can use any double net weight yarn. I'm going to be using two colours to create a Scandi Christmas feel for this particular glove, but you can use as many colours as you would like. I'm going to be making the large size today, but you can find all the other sizes in the written pattern, which I will link below. Let's start by putting a slip knot on your hook and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then going to join that to make a ring, and then chain 3. We're now going to start working into the ring. So we're going to put a double crochet right into the centre there, and we're going to do 10 more double crochet into the ring for a total of 12 double crochet. And I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. Now I'm going to be changing colour every round for this motif, but when you need to make your motif in a solid colour, simply slip stitch into the space between the 2 stitches here, like so, and then you will chain 3 and carry on in just one colour. But I'm going to change colour here now, so I'm going to fasten off. So we're ready to start round 2. Now I'm going to put my hook in between 2 stitches, so not into the stitch but in the space between 2 stitches, and pull my next colour through, and then I'm going to chain 3. This counts as our first double crochet, and I'm going to put another double crochet into that same space, then I'm going to look for the next space between the stitches and put a double crochet in there, followed by another double crochet, and I'm going to continue around putting 2 double crochets into each space between the stitches. So I've worked all the way around, and I'm just going to finish with a slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 and fasten off. Now if you're doing your single colour round, you will slip stitch into the next stitch, then slip stitch into the space between stitches, and then chain 3 to start your next round. Start round 3, I'm going to put my hook between 2 clusters and pull through new colour and chain 3, and again this counts as double crochet. I'm going to put 2 more double crochet into that same space, in the next space we're going to put 3 double crochet, and then go ahead and put 3 double crochet in each space all the way around. We're ready to start round 4, so I'm going to put my hook in space between clusters and pull in the new colour and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This counts as our first treble. I'm going to put 2 more trebles into the same space, then chain 2. This makes our first corner, and then 3 more trebles into that same space. In the next space we're going to put 3 double crochet, and again in the next space 3 double crochet, and now we're ready to make our next corner. So for the corner it's going to be 3 treble crochet, chain 2, 3 treble crochet. So now you're going to continue around putting a granny cluster, that's 3 double crochet into the same space, into the next 2 spaces, then your corner, which will be 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles, 2 more granny clusters, another corner, 2 more granny clusters, and then we'll join to the top of this chain 4 with a slip stitch. Okay, so you should end up with something like this. I'm going to join in our new colour. I'm going to join where I fastened off for the previous round, just so that you know what to do when you're doing a solid granny square with just one colour. So I'm going to pull the new yarn through and chain 1. This doesn't count as a stitch. And then I'm going to do a half double crochet into the same stitch and into the next 2 stitches. We're now at the first corner. I'm going to put 2 half double crochets into this corner space, chain 1, and then 2 more half double crochet. I'm now going to start working half double crochets into each stitch across the side. Make sure you get this first stitch. Sometimes it can be hidden a bit underneath these stitches. So I'm going to continue with a half double crochet into each stitch across. When I get to the corner, I'm going to put 2 half double crochets into that corner space, chain 1, and 2 more half double crochets. Now you can continue around the square with a half double crochet into each stitch and 2 half double crochet, chain 2, 2 half double crochet into each corner space, and then join with a slip stitch to the top of that first half double crochet. Now you're going to go ahead and make another square exactly the same, and then 2 squares in just one single colour. So we're going to put our squares right sides together with your main colour, put a slip knot on your hook, and then we're going to look for this corner space. So there's the corner space here, put your hook in and look for the same corner space on the other square, and we're just going to put a single crochet in there. Just tighten that a little bit. We're now going to single crochet in each stitch across. So look for your first half double crochet stitch, put your hook through, look for the stitch on the other side. This one can be difficult to miss, it's actually here, and single crochet. Then we go into the next stitch and on the other side, and single crochet. And we're going to keep doing this all the way across until we get to the corner. So I've just got that corner space to work into both corners, single crochet, and then you can fasten off. Okay, so we're finished crocheting across this side. We're now going to turn it around and start to crochet on the opposite side. We're going to start with the same thing, start with a slip knot on your hook. So find that corner space, hook goes in, find the corner space on the other side, and single crochet. First half double crochet, and the same on the other side. Remember, this one's a bit tricky. Single crochet, and again in the next stitch, and the next stitch. So we've worked in a total of 3 stitches plus 1 stitch for that corner space. Now we're going to do something a bit different. So now we're going to only work into the bottom motif. So if you just move this slightly out of your way and look for the next stitch you need to work in. So we've just worked into this stitch here. So this is the next stitch. We're going to slip stitch in there and into the next stitch. Try not to do your slip stitches too tight. And we're going to slip stitch all the way across until you have 3 stitches remaining. So I've slip stitched across, I've got 1, 2, 3 stitches left, and we're now going to start crocheting together again. So count your stitches, 1, it's probably easier to turn it over to count them, 1, 2, 3. So this is the first stitch we need to put a hook in, and single crochet, and single crochet into the next 2 stitches, both pieces together, and that last stitch, and then finish off with another single crochet into that corner space. We've put our final stitch into that corner space. We're now going to turn, and we're going to slip stitch back into those 3 stitches. That's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to work in the bottom only, because remember we've turned this over now, so this side we haven't worked into, and we're going to slip stitch into those stitches. And we're going to go all the way across. This is of course the opening for your thumb. So then finish with a slip stitch into that single crochet, and fasten off and weave in your ends. Okay, you can go ahead and turn this the right way around, and as you can see we have a little hole there for the thumb. We'll put it on and try it on. This is how it should look. Now you want to go ahead and do the same with your other 2 squares, but just make sure that you leave your hole for the thumb on the opposite side this time, so that your motifs are both the same on the top and the bottom. So when you're looking at your glove, this edge will now be the top edge, and this edge will be the bottom edge. So we're going to start working into the top next. Okay, from now on we're going to be using the 3mm hook, which is the smaller hook. We're going to turn our piece over so the back is facing upwards. So we're going to look for the top left corner, which is this corner here. We're going to look for that last stitch, which is this half double crochet here. We're going to put our hook through there and join our yarn. Chain 1, this doesn't count as a stitch, and we're going to put a half double crochet into that same stitch. Now the next bit is a bit tricky. We're going to half double crochet 3 together over the corner space, this little kind of stitch that you can see here where the squares were joined, and the other corner space. So you're going to yarn over, put your hook into that corner, pull up that loop, yarn over, put your hook underneath the loop of that stitch in the center join, pull up a loop, yarn over, put your hook into the next corner, pull up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all of those loops. It's a little bit tricky, but there we go. So we're now going to start working across this side, and we're going to put a half double crochet in the next stitch. This first half double crochet, it always looks hidden, so it's a little bit difficult to get into there, but you can find the stitch. So half double crochet in there, half double crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to keep putting half double crochets all the way across until we get back to where we joined the 2 squares here. So we're at where the squares are joined, and again we're going to do the same thing, 3 half double crochet together. So yarn over into that space, pull up a loop, yarn over into that joining stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over into the corner space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all those loops, and then again half double crochet into that first stitch. Remember, this one is a bit tricky to find, and then half double crochet into each stitch back to the beginning. We're simply going to end the round by joining with a slip stitch to the top of that first half double crochet. Chain 1, half double crochet in the same stitch. That chain 1 doesn't count as a half double crochet, and we're going to put a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and finish with a slip stitch into the top of that first half double crochet. So for round 3 we're just going to repeat round 2. Okay, for round 4 we're going to start with chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch, and we're going to work now from left to right, and we're going to single crochet in each stitch. This is also known as crab stitch, so it might feel a bit weird if you've never done this before, but just put your hook from where it is into that same stitch, single crochet, then into the next stitch, single crochet. I'll just do a few stitches so you can see how it's done. It's very easy. It just does feel a bit awkward at first, but once you get the flow, it goes really easily. So you're going to continue and do this all the way around. We're ready to join at the end, but we don't join from the front. We want to turn our work and join onto the inside and just slip stitch into the back of that stitch there and fasten off. Okay, so we're ready to start the ribbing. We're going to rotate our work so the top of the glove is at the bottom, and just like we did in round 1 of the top, we're going to do the same for the bottom. So our first round is going to be exactly the same as our first round when we were doing the top. Okay, we're at the beginning of round 2. We're going to chain 2. Now this chain 2 counts as a back post double crochet. The first stitch we're going to do is a front post double crochet. If you've not done one of these before, I will show you how to do it. So you yarn over, you'll put your hook to the side of the stitch, go around and come up the other side, and then you finish off your double crochet around the post of the stitch, and then that double crochet stitch sits at the front of this half double crochet. The next stitch we're going to do is a back post double crochet. So you're going to yarn over. Now this is where we have the join, so we're going to put our hook around the back at the side of the stitch and then go through the side of the stitch on the other side and then finish off that double crochet. And so that stitch will sit at the back of the stitch. So the next we're going to do a front post double crochet, and then a back post double crochet. And we're going to work all the way around, alternating between the two. So we're ending with a front post double crochet in that last stitch there, and we're going to join to the top of that chain 2. So for rounds 3 to 5, you're going to repeat that last round. The finished glove should look like this. You can go ahead and finish up your second one exactly the same way. I'm also working on making matching accessories, so make sure you watch out for those videos. Bye bye now.